Ever wondered what lies in the shadows of the world's most haunted cemeteries? These eerie resting places of the departed are not just repositories of history and loss, but also a lure for those drawn to the unexplainable. They hold stories that pierce the veil between our world and what might be beyond. They are the playgrounds of the paranormal, brimming with spectral intrigue. So if you're brave enough, join us on this chilling journey through history and the supernatural. Our first stop is the St. Louis Cemetery No. 1, established in 1789, nestled in the heart of New Orleans. New Orleans, a city steeped in a rich cultural blend, is as famous for its vibrant Mardi Gras and jazz as it is for its ghostly tales and haunted histories. And at the center of it all lies our first destination, the St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. Established at the tail end of the 18th century, this cemetery is the final resting place of many famous and infamous figures of New Orleans' past. As you walk through the narrow pathways, you'll notice something peculiar about this cemetery. Unlike the traditional underground burials common in most parts of the world, St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is a city of the dead with above-ground vaults. These vaults, stacked one atop another, are a sight to behold. This unique burial method was born out of necessity due to the city's high water table and has become an iconic part of New Orleans' cultural landscape. Perhaps the most famous resident of this haunted necropolis is the voodoo queen herself, Marie Laveau. Born in 1801, Laveau was a free woman of color and the most renowned voodoo priestess in the city. Her influence was so widespread that even after her death in 1881, people still visit her tomb, hoping for a miracle or a curse. They leave offerings and mark 3 X's on the tomb, a practice frowned upon by preservationists but nonetheless a testament to her enduring legacy. Visitors often recount feeling an eerie presence near Laveau's tomb. Some have reported seeing her ghost, adorned in her trademark turban, whispering a voodoo curse to those who disrespect her resting place. Whether it's the power of suggestion or a genuine paranormal encounter, these tales add to the mystique of the St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. With its rich history and chilling tales, St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 sets a high bar for haunted locations. Next we venture to Highgate Cemetery in London, established in the year 1839, a place as eerie as it is beautiful. In the heart of North London lies a fascinating relic of Victorian Gothic architecture, Highgate Cemetery. With its labyrinth of overgrown ivy, shadowy tombs, and brooding angels carved in stone, Highgate paints a hauntingly beautiful picture. Its atmosphere is thick with an air of mystery and melancholy, a testament to the era when death was embraced with an almost artistic fascination. But Highgate Cemetery is not just renowned for its architectural beauty, it is also infamous for a spectral resident known as the Highgate Vampire. Tales of this menacing apparition have circulated since the late 1960s. It is said to be a tall, dark figure with piercing, hypnotic eyes, capable of scaling the cemetery walls with inhuman agility. Many visitors have reported seeing this chilling figure, and some have even claimed to have been attacked by it. Yet the Highgate Vampire is not the only paranormal entity that lurks within the cemetery's shadows. There have been sightings of a ghostly cyclist riding his bike through the graveyard, a spectral nun who roams the western side, and a phantom horse and carriage that has been seen and heard clattering down Swain's Lane, which runs adjacent to the cemetery. Some accounts even speak of a shrouded figure known as the Mad Old Woman. She is said to be constantly searching for her lost children, whom she allegedly murdered in a fit of insanity. Her mournful cries and frantic searching add another layer of eeriness to the cemetery's already somber atmosphere. Highgate Cemetery is a place where the line between the living and the dead seems to blur, where spectral figures roam amidst crumbling tombs, and where the echoes of a bygone era resonate. The cemetery's Gothic charm, coupled with its spine-chilling tales, make it a must-visit for those with a penchant for the paranormal. Highgate Cemetery, a Gothic haunt that truly embodies the spirit of London's dark past. Now, we journey to Buenos Aires, to La Recoleta Cemetery, established in 1822, a city within a city. La Recoleta Cemetery is a grand spectacle of the afterlife. Its marble mausoleums, ornate statues, and winding stone paths transport you to a different realm, a realm where the deceased continue to command reverence and awe. This city of the dead with over 4,000 tombs is the final resting place for presidents, military heroes, influential artists, and perhaps a few unsettled spirits. Among the many tales of the supernatural, one story stands out: the haunting tale of Rufina Cambaceres. A young socialite declared dead in 1902, only to be found with scratches on her face and the lid of her coffin, suggesting she had been buried alive. Since then, many visitors claim to have seen Rufina, dressed in her burial clothes, wandering the cemetery at night. But the tales don't stop there. Strange phenomena continue to baffle visitors and locals alike. Whispers on the wind that carry the echoes of the past, cold spots that chill you to the bone, and an eerie feeling of being watched, even when you're the only one around. There's also the story of David Aleno, a cemetery caretaker who spent his life savings on a tomb for himself. It's said that after his death he can still be seen, keys jingling, going about his caretaker duties as if he never left. Then there's the ghost of a woman in white, said to be a former nun, who appears at midnight to those who've lost their way, guiding them back to the living world. La Recoleta Cemetery is a place where the veil between the worlds seems thinner, where the dead don't rest in silence but continue their spectral existence. It's a place where history and the supernatural intertwine, creating a chilling yet fascinating narrative that lingers in the minds of those who dare to explore it. La Recoleta Cemetery, where the line between the living and the dead seems to blur. We now find ourselves in the hauntingly beautiful Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, established in 1562. A place of peace and tranquility by day, but come nightfall, it transforms into a playground for the spectral, a haven for those who linger beyond the veil of mortality. Greyfriars Kirkyard is steeped in a history as rich as it is violent. The tale begins with the Covenanters, a group of religious rebels who dared to defy King Charles I in the 17th century. They were imprisoned in a section of the Kirkyard, now known as the Covenanters' Prison. Their punishment was harsh. They were left to the mercy of the elements, starved, and many succumbed to the harsh Scottish winters. Their spirits are said to wander the grounds, their sorrow and anger palpable in the damp, chilly air. Then there's the infamous Mackenzie Poltergeist, said to be the restless spirit of George Mackenzie, a ruthless lawyer responsible for the brutal persecution of the Covenanters. His tomb, known as the Black Mausoleum, has been the epicenter of numerous unexplained phenomena. Visitors have reported feeling a sudden drop in temperature, an unseen force pushing them, and some have even left with inexplicable bruises and scratches. The Kirkyard has become a hot spot for paranormal investigators and curious tourists alike, drawn to the tales of ghostly apparitions and chilling encounters. Many have left with stories that defy explanation, tales that send shivers down the spine and make one question the very nature of life and death. But perhaps the most compelling aspect of Greyfriars Kirkyard is the tangible connection to the past. As you wander through the ancient tombstones, you can almost hear the whispers of history, the echoes of a time long gone, yet not forgotten. It's a chilling reminder that even in death, some stories refuse to be silenced. Greyfriars Kirkyard, a place where history and horror intertwine in the most unexpected ways. Last but not least, we arrive at the old Jewish cemetery in Prague, established in the 15th century. A venerable site, it stands as a testament to centuries of history, with stories and spirits that seem to echo through the ages. Now imagine a labyrinth of gravestones, so densely packed that they seem to stumble over each other. Over 12,000 tombstones are piled here, but beneath the surface, an estimated 100,000 souls rest. In bygone days, due to space constraints, the cemetery had to stack graves as many as 12 layers deep. It's a sight that sends shivers down the spine, and not just from the chilly Prague wind. The old Jewish cemetery is not just a place of final rest. It's a place of legend and lore, most notably the tale of the Golem of Prague. The Golem, a creature of clay, was supposedly brought to life by a rabbi to protect the Jewish community from pogroms. When the threat was over, the Golem was returned to lifeless clay and is believed to be resting somewhere within the cemetery grounds. Some say, on moonlit nights, you can see the Golem's shadow wandering restlessly among the tombstones. Of course, the Golem isn't the only spectral sighting reported here. Many visitors have claimed to see apparitions or feel an unseen presence. Some have even heard whispers in the wind, as if the spirits of the departed are still telling their stories, unwilling to let go of the world they once knew. The old Jewish cemetery of Prague is a place where the past is palpable, where every stone tells a story, and where the boundary between the living and the dead seems remarkably thin. It's a place that invites you not just to observe history but to feel it, to become part of it. The old Jewish cemetery, a place where ancient tales and supernatural encounters come to life. From New Orleans to Prague, we've explored the world's most haunted cemeteries. Our spine-chilling journey began in the heart of New Orleans, where tales of voodoo and restless spirits paint a haunting picture of the city's past. We then cross the Atlantic to London, where Gothic architecture sets the stage for ghostly encounters and tales of the macabre. Next, we ventured to Buenos Aires, a city known for its vibrant culture, yet it harbors an eerie city of the dead, a place where spectral figures are said to roam after dark. Our expedition continued to Edinburgh, a city rich in history and folklore. The Scottish capital's cemeteries are playgrounds for poltergeists, with countless stories of spectral pranksters and eerie occurrences. Lastly, we found ourselves in the ancient city of Prague. Its cemeteries are steeped in history and mystery, with tales of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena that have intrigued visitors for centuries. Each of these cemeteries, unique in their own right, offer a glimpse into the unknown, a peek into the world of the paranormal. They remind us that sometimes history refuses to stay buried. They challenge our understanding of the world, of life and death, and the thin veil that separates them. Remember, the next time you find yourself in a cemetery, you might not be as alone as you think. Until next time, keep exploring the unknown.